Marcus adjusted his suit as he stepped into the orbital bank. The sunlight outside the dome reflected off the polished metal floors, creating lines of light that danced across the walls. Humans had built this colony above Earth, and every detail of the city spoke of ambition, skill, and innovation. Marcus had walked in hundreds of banks across the galaxy, but this one was different. It was in the heart of the first space colony, a place where every human achievement had a story. Inside the bank, a young teller named Leo was finishing his shift. He had sharp eyes and quick hands, but today his mind was somewhere else. He glanced at the customer line and noticed Marcus walking toward him. Marcus was calm, tall, and carried an air of confidence that made people notice him immediately. Leo felt a small twinge of doubt. He had learned to judge people quickly, but something about Marcus did not fit the usual pattern. Marcus approached the counter with a polite smile. He placed a small device on the countertop and looked Leo in the eyes. "I need to make a special transaction," Marcus said in a calm voice. His tone was steady, but there was a hidden weight behind it. Leo barely heard the words over the noise of the bank. He was distracted by a message flashing on his terminal. Marcus noticed, but he did not speak harshly. He waited. "Excuse me," Marcus repeated, leaning slightly forward. "I need assistance with a transfer. It is important and time-sensitive." He did not raise his voice. He did not show frustration. His presence alone demanded attention, but Leo ignored it. He assumed Marcus was just another customer who did not understand the rules. Marcus could see it in Leo's eyes, a mixture of impatience and doubt. Marcus had faced this many times before. Humans often underestimated each other, judging by appearances, by age, by the smallest detail. But Marcus had learned a simple truth. Humans had power beyond what machines could understand. And today he was about to demonstrate it. He touched the device on the counter. It was a wristband, simple in appearance, but inside it held a human-made AI chip. This chip was connected to every major financial system on the colony and beyond. Marcus had designed it himself. It could communicate instantly with the bank system, verify identity, and authorize transactions. But there was one limit: it needed a human mind to guide it. Machines alone could not understand the intentions behind the transfer, the ethics, or the decisions that shaped the best outcome. Only humans could. Leo finally looked at Marcus directly. "Sir, what exactly is your request?" he asked. His voice held a hint of irritation. Marcus smiled faintly. "I want to transfer funds in a way that follows both the law and the highest standards of security." "I need you to assist me," Leo frowned. He had processed thousands of transactions, but something about this one felt strange. It was unusually large, far beyond anything he had seen in the branch before. The amount was not the problem. The problem was that the request seemed different. Leo could not put his finger on it. He was used to following rules, relying on procedures, and trusting the system to handle any situation. But Marcus's request required more than rules. It required judgment. Marcus did not rush. He observed the bank. The security robots moved efficiently, scanning faces, checking IDs, and monitoring every corner. Their movements were precise but predictable. Marcus knew he could navigate them, but he needed Leo to see something first. Humans had to understand the value of creativity and thought. Machines could not adapt in the same way humans could. Leo watched Marcus place his hands calmly on the counter. Marcus activated the chip in his wristband. A small holographic interface appeared above the counter. The display was complex, showing multiple layers of authorization, encryption, and verification. Marcus's eyes scanned the numbers and symbols. To Leo, it looked like a confusing mess. To Marcus, it was a language he understood perfectly. He began inputting commands with subtle gestures. The chip responded instantly, interfacing with the bank system, but the system hesitated. It was waiting for a human confirmation. Leo noticed movement on his screen. The system was showing a transaction that seemed unauthorized. His heart raced. He had never seen this before. He tried to stop it, pressing keys and scanning codes, but the system responded to Marcus's commands. Marcus noticed Leo's confusion and spoke calmly. "Do not worry. The system knows me. It recognizes that I am authorized. You only need to follow the steps." Leo hesitated. He had been trained to question unusual activity, but something in Marcus's calm voice and his presence made him pause. Leo realized that this was not just a routine transaction. It was a demonstration of human capability, of intelligence guiding technology. He felt a flicker of respect. He wanted to understand, to see how Marcus could do what seemed impossible. Marcus leaned slightly forward. "Watch closely," he said. "This is how humans and technology work together. Machines follow patterns, but humans create the patterns. Machines obey, but humans lead." He smiled faintly. "It is our imagination, our judgment, and our foresight that make us unique." Leo nodded slowly, understanding a little. Marcus's movements were precise yet fluid. He anticipated every obstacle, every security measure. He solved problems instantly that would have taken robots minutes to calculate. Leo could see that Marcus's mind worked differently. It was fast but also thoughtful. Marcus was not just using technology. He was guiding it with human intelligence, showing how humans could shape outcomes in ways machines could not predict. The bank's other customers noticed the interaction. Some whispered, some stared. Marcus's presence drew attention, but not because he demanded it. It was because humans are naturally drawn to skill, to mastery, to excellence. Even in a world dominated by machines, humans admired other humans who could achieve extraordinary results. Marcus completed the first stage of the transfer. Leo watched in awe as numbers moved across the holographic interface. The system displayed confirmations but still waited for final authorization. Marcus explained each step as he went. "Every action has meaning. Every decision matters. Humans understand context, ethics, and consequence. Machines follow rules, but humans define the rules." Leo could not help but think about his own abilities. He had followed procedures all his life, relying on machines to guide him. But now he saw a different path. Humans could lead, create, and solve problems that machines could never fully understand. He felt a spark of excitement, a desire to learn, to grow, to reach beyond what he had believed possible. Marcus paused. He looked at Leo directly. "Are you ready to take the final step?" he asked. Leo nodded. He realized that Marcus was teaching him something more important than a transaction. He was teaching him the value of human ingenuity. Marcus tapped the chip one last time. The system responded instantly. Security robots paused, recalculating, unsure of how to respond. The holographic interface glowed with confirmation. Leo felt a rush of respect. He knew that he was witnessing something extraordinary. Marcus was not just moving funds. He was demonstrating what humans could do when they combined intelligence, judgment, and courage. As the transfer began, the bank filled with a quiet energy. People watched silently, understanding that this was more than money changing hands. It was a lesson in human capability. Leo realized that humans had a strength that no machine could match. They could imagine, adapt, and create solutions in ways that technology could never replicate. Marcus finished the first stage and stepped back. He looked around the bank, seeing the curiosity and respect in the eyes of everyone present. "Humans are capable of great things," he said softly. "Sometimes we only need to see them in action to understand our own potential." Leo smiled, feeling a sense of inspiration he had never known before. He realized that today he had learned something more valuable than any procedure manual. He had seen human intelligence, courage, and creativity in motion. He understood that humans were still the most extraordinary force in the galaxy. Marcus adjusted his wristband and smiled at Leo. "This is only the beginning," he said. He walked calmly toward the exit, leaving a quiet sense of awe behind him. Humans had shown their power not through force but through intelligence, adaptability, and foresight. Leo watched him go, knowing that he had witnessed a moment that would change his understanding of what humans could achieve. As Marcus stepped outside into the sunlight of the orbital city, he looked down at the Earth far below. Humans had come far and they had more to achieve. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and opportunities, but Marcus knew that human ingenuity would always find a way. Today he had shown it in a bank. Tomorrow he would show it across the stars. The first part of Marcus's story ended with a lesson. Human creativity, intelligence, and courage were not only valuable, they were unstoppable. Leo returned to his terminal, thinking deeply about what he had seen. He knew that humans were capable of extraordinary things, and he wanted to be part of that future. Marcus left the bank lobby and stepped into a smaller, quieter room, reserved for private consultations. The air felt heavier here, more focused. The lights reflected off the polished metal walls, giving the room a sharp clarity that mirrored the precision Marcus always carried with him. Leo followed hesitantly, curiosity and awe filling his mind. He had never met anyone like Marcus. This was not just a man moving money. This was someone showing how human intelligence could control the impossible. Marcus activated the chip in his wristband again. A soft glow appeared and a holographic interface rose into the air. The display was filled with numbers, symbols, and flowing streams of data. To anyone else, it would have looked overwhelming. To Marcus, it was a language he understood perfectly. "Leo," Marcus said, "this is the second stage. You will see how human thought works with technology to achieve what machines cannot do alone." He tapped a command and the holographic display shifted. The system was preparing to transfer the $200 million, but the final authorization required more than a fingerprint or code. It required insight, judgment, and human decision-making. Leo studied the display. He had seen the first stage, but this was different. Now he could see the complexity of the system, how machines calculated probabilities and risks, and how humans guided those calculations with reasoning. "How does this work?" he asked. "I mean, how can a human do what machines cannot?" Marcus smiled. "Machines follow rules, Leo. They calculate, they predict, they respond. But they cannot imagine. They cannot understand ethics, consequences, or strategy the way a human can. That is our advantage. This transfer is not just about money. It is about demonstrating human intelligence at its finest." Marcus began guiding the AI chip through the system. Every gesture, every command seemed simple but carried weight. The holographic display shifted and changed with his input, adjusting patterns faster than Leo could follow. The system itself hesitated, unsure how to respond. It had never encountered such dynamic commands before. Machines excelled at repetition, at following orders exactly. Humans excelled at solving the unknown, at creating solutions before the problem even fully appeared. As the transfer initiated, the bank's internal security system detected unusual activity. Tiny drones whirred to life and the room's sensors blinked red. A calm computerized voice announced, "Unauthorized transaction detected." "Security protocol activated." Leo froze. "Marcus, the system thinks you are unauthorized." "What do we do?" Marcus remained calm. He leaned slightly over the holographic display and made subtle gestures. "We do what humans always do. We think, we analyze, we adapt." His fingers traced lines of data, rearranging commands in ways the AI had never seen before. The system hesitated, unsure how to respond to the human logic guiding it. The security drones moved toward the counter, their lights scanning the room. Marcus smiled faintly. "They are precise," he said, "but they cannot predict creativity. Watch carefully." He tapped a sequence on the interface that forced the drones to pause. The system adjusted automatically, but Marcus's commands anticipated its movements. Each time a barrier arose, Marcus found a solution, a new path, a method no machine could calculate in advance. Leo watched in astonishment. Marcus' intelligence was not just fast, it was flexible. It combined ethics, foresight, and imagination. "You see, Leo," Marcus said, "humans are not limited to patterns. Machines are brilliant at repetition. Humans are brilliant at innovation. That is why, even in a galaxy dominated by technology, we remain the most powerful force." Leo nodded slowly. He realized Marcus was showing him something bigger than a transaction. This was a lesson in human potential. Machines could calculate probabilities, but humans could create probabilities. They could solve problems before they appeared. They could navigate systems with intuition and foresight. The transfer continued slowly at first. Marcus guided the chip, making tiny adjustments as he went. The system recalculated constantly, reacting to each input. Security protocols tried to block the transfer, but Marcus anticipated every obstacle. The drones scanned, the alarms chimed, but nothing could stop the human mind. Marcus explained each step quietly. "Notice how the system reacts. It expects repetition, it expects routine, but we are unpredictable. We adapt, we innovate, and we lead. That is what sets humans apart." Leo felt a thrill of understanding. He had been trained to follow rules, to trust machines, to believe that technology could handle everything. But here was proof that human intelligence, creativity, and judgment could surpass even the most advanced systems. He could see why Marcus was respected across colonies, why humans still held power in a galaxy increasingly run by machines. The holographic display began to show progress. Numbers shifted, balances moved, and the transfer approached completion. Marcus guided each step with precision, never rushing, never hesitating. Each movement was deliberate, showcasing the power of thought combined with technology. As the transfer neared its end, the room filled with tension. The security system tried one final time to block the transaction. The drones moved faster, the alarms grew louder. Leo felt a sense of fear, thinking the system might fail. Marcus noticed his expression. "Do not worry," Marcus said calmly. "Humans do not panic. We analyze, we adapt, we solve. That is what makes us extraordinary." With a final gesture, Marcus completed the commands. The system paused, calculated, and then confirmed. A soft chime filled the room and the holographic display flashed, authorized by human intelligence. Leo stared in awe. He could not believe what he had just witnessed. Machines, no matter how advanced, could not have completed this transfer alone. It required foresight, creativity, and judgment, qualities only humans could provide. Marcus turned to Leo and smiled. "Do you understand now?" he asked. "This is why humans are valuable. Not because we follow rules perfectly, not because we calculate risks flawlessly, but because we think, we create, and we lead." Leo nodded slowly, feeling a new respect for human capability. He realized that Marcus's actions were more than a demonstration. They were a lesson in human potential. Machines could assist, they could calculate, they could enforce, but humans could guide, innovate, and achieve the impossible. Outside the consultation room, the bank staff had begun to notice the commotion. Customers whispered, observing the unusual activity on their screens. Some felt awe, some confusion, but all sensed something remarkable was happening. Marcus's calm and precise movements had drawn attention, but not through force. Humans are naturally drawn to skill and mastery, and Marcus demonstrated both effortlessly. Leo finally spoke, his voice filled with respect. "Marcus, I have never seen anything like this. I understand now. Humans are truly extraordinary." Marcus smiled and nodded. "Remember this, Leo. Technology is powerful, but it is not the greatest power. Human intelligence, courage, and creativity are. When you combine them with technology, you can achieve the impossible." The final part of the transfer completed and the 200 million moved safely to its destination. Marcus leaned back, satisfied. The AI chip had responded perfectly to human guidance. Security systems had been respected and circumvented ethically, and Leo had learned the most important lesson of all. "Today, you have seen human intelligence in action," Marcus said softly. "Tomorrow you will apply it in your own life. Humans are capable of great things. Never forget that." Leo watched as Marcus removed his wristband and prepared to leave. He had seen more than a bank transaction. He had seen a demonstration of human potential, a proof that even in a galaxy dominated by machines, humans could lead, innovate, and succeed where technology could not. As Marcus stepped into the main hall, the sunlight reflected across his suit, casting long shadows across the floor. Leo returned to his terminal feeling inspired. He knew that the human mind, when used with intelligence and courage, could accomplish the impossible. Today, Marcus had shown it with a bank transfer. Tomorrow, humanity would show it across the stars. The lesson was clear. Human ingenuity was unmatched. Machines were tools, important and powerful, but humans were the masters. This was the secret protocol of the galaxy. Humans created, humans led, and humans achieved what no machine could imagine. Marcus left the bank, smiling faintly to himself. The orbital city shimmered in the light of the distant sun. Humans had built wonders here. They had crossed the void to colonize space. And now they had shown once again that their greatest strength was not in technology alone, but in the mind, the heart, and the creativity of people. Leo would remember this day forever. He had witnessed a human mind at work in a way he could never forget. He had learned that the greatest power in the universe was not in machines, not in money, and not in force. It was in humans, thinking, leading, and creating the future. Marcus stepped back into the main hall of the bank. The sunlight from the orbital city reflected off the polished metal floors, creating lines of light that danced across the walls. Every eye in the bank followed him. Marcus moved with calm precision, aware of every detail. The bank was more than a building. It was a test of human skill against technology, a place where machines and people collided, and Marcus intended to prove that human ingenuity could lead the way. Leo followed closely, trying to keep up. He had seen Marcus work wonders in the consultation room, But now the real challenge awaited. The main security system had detected the unusual transfer. The alarms had activated fully, red lights flashing and drones buzzing through the air. Every security measure was prepared to stop the $200 million transfer. Machines were precise, but they lacked creativity. Marcus intended to show how humans could overcome even the most sophisticated defenses without harm. The bank's automated security voice rang clearly. Warning: unauthorized transaction detected, security protocols at maximum, all systems responding. The drones swarmed the room, scanning everyone with their bright blue sensors. Leo felt nervous. He had never seen such a complex system respond so quickly. But Marcus remained calm. His eyes scanned the environment, reading every signal, anticipating every move. "This is where humans shine," Marcus said quietly to Leo. "Machines follow logic. They react to what is programmed. Humans can create solutions in real time, watch and learn." Marcus activated the AI chip in his wristband once more. The holographic interface appeared above the counter, filling the room with shifting streams of numbers and flowing symbols. He moved his fingers with skill, manipulating the data in ways Leo could barely comprehend. Every time a drone approached, Marcus calculated its path and guided the AI to adjust automatically. The machines moved faster than ever, but they could not predict the flexibility of human thought. Leo watched in awe as Marcus anticipated every response. A drone moved toward the counter to block him. Marcus traced a pattern on the holographic display, and the drone paused mid-air. The AI calculated Marcus's commands instantly, following his lead. He had created a path for the transfer that no machine could have anticipated alone. "You see, Leo," Marcus said. "Machines calculate. Humans create. That is the difference. We imagine solutions before the problem even fully appears. That is why humans are unique. Why we are powerful even in a galaxy of machines." The drones moved again, more aggressively this time. The alarms intensified and the bank's central system initiated lockdown procedures. Doors began to seal and the lights flashed red. Customers gasped and took steps back, unsure of what was happening. Marcus did not panic. His mind raced through possibilities, calculating the safest and fastest way to complete the transfer. He guided the AI through multiple layers of encryption. Each step required human decision-making. The AI could follow instructions, but it needed Marcus to interpret the obstacles and make choices that no machine could anticipate. The holographic display showed progress in real time. Numbers moved in streams, transferring funds through secure channels at speeds machines alone could not maintain. Leo noticed how Marcus combined precision with creativity. Machines followed strict patterns. They predicted outcomes based on probabilities. Humans could do all of that, but also more. Humans could adapt, invent new methods, and find shortcuts where logic alone failed. Marcus had crafted a plan that moved faster than the security system could block, all while respecting ethical protocols. One of the bank's advanced security drones zipped toward Marcus. Its sensors glowed bright blue, scanning him for anomalies. Marcus calmly raised his hand, guiding the AI chip to send a sequence of instructions that confused the drone's calculations. It paused, uncertain, hovering in place. Marcus moved with purpose, guiding the AI to open a new path for the funds to move securely. Leo felt amazed. Marcus was doing what humans always did best: thinking, adapting, leading. "Humans do not panic," Marcus said softly. "We analyze, we innovate, and we solve. Machines cannot do that. They follow rules. We create them." The bank staff had stopped their work and gathered to watch. They whispered in amazement as Marcus continued to manipulate the system. They saw something extraordinary. Marcus was not just transferring money. He was demonstrating human brilliance in action. Machines had rules. Humans had vision. Machines reacted. Humans led. Marcus guided the AI through the next layer of security. The system attempted a countermeasure, sealing off several digital channels. Marcus predicted the move before it happened. He entered a command that redirected the transfer through alternate secure pathways. The AI responded instantly. The drones, programmed to block repetitive patterns, hesitated when faced with a strategy they could not calculate. Leo stepped closer, unable to resist observing the flow of commands. "Marcus, how are you so fast?" he asked. "The machines are so advanced." Marcus smiled faintly. "Because I am human. Machines are programmed to respond. Humans can anticipate, imagine, and adapt. That is why, even in a galaxy dominated by technology, humans remain the most valuable force." The transfer approached the final stage. The holographic display glowed brightly, showing numbers streaming from account to account, funds moving. Through layers of encryption that only Marcus could navigate, security drones buzzed around, alarms blaring, but Marcus did not falter. His movements were precise but creative. Every gesture guided the AI in real time, adapting to every obstacle the system presented. One of the central security doors began to lock down. Marcus anticipated the sequence. He entered a combination of commands that rerouted the digital signals, forcing the door to remain open. Leo watched, amazed. No machine alone could have done this. It required judgment, foresight, and adaptability, the hallmark of human intelligence. As the transfer reached completion, the AI confirmed each step. Every measure was secure, every path validated. The holographic display flashed a final message: "Transfer successful, authorized by human intelligence." The bank fell silent. Customers and staff alike stared at Marcus in awe. Machines had been powerful, but humans had been smarter. Marcus turned to Leo. "Do you see now? This is what humans can do. We lead, we create, we solve problems that no machine can. Intelligence alone is not enough. Vision and adaptability make humans extraordinary." Leo nodded slowly. He had witnessed something incredible. Marcus had not just moved money. He had shown the power of the human mind in a way that no machine could replicate. The staff began to clap quietly, a mixture of admiration and disbelief. Marcus smiled, acknowledging their respect, but his focus remained steady. Marcus guided the AI to finalize the last few steps. Funds transferred successfully. The drones deactivated, alarms stopped, and the system returned to normal. Every action had been ethical, precise, and controlled, yet faster and more effective than any machine could achieve alone. Leo turned to Marcus. "I understand now," he said. "Humans are still the most powerful even with all the machines. We can create, adapt, and lead." Marcus smiled. "Exactly. Technology is a tool. Power comes from humans using it wisely, combining intelligence with judgment and creativity. That is how we shape the future." The other staff members gathered around, asking questions and trying to understand how Marcus had done it. He explained the principles of human ingenuity, showing how machines are helpful, but humans remain in control. Humans can see possibilities that machines cannot predict. Humans can innovate under pressure. Humans can lead when all else fails. Leo felt inspired. He had spent years following rules, relying on systems to make decisions. Now he understood the real lesson. Machines could calculate risks and follow protocols. Humans could see beyond them. Humans could guide technology to achieve outcomes no machine could create alone. Marcus removed his wristband and nodded. "Remember this, Leo. Humans are capable of extraordinary things. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Technology is powerful, but humans are stronger because of thought, courage, and creativity." He turned toward the exit, moving calmly through the bank. Customers whispered and watched, inspired by what they had seen. Humans had demonstrated their value, not through force or intimidation, but through intelligence and skill. Leo returned to his terminal, energized. He realized that today he had learned a lesson more important than any protocol or procedure. He had seen human ingenuity in action, guiding technology in ways no machine could replicate. Marcus stepped outside into the sunlight of the orbital city. The vast expanse of space glimmered in the distance. Humans had built wonders here, crossed the void, and colonized new worlds. And today, they had shown that their greatest strength was not machines, not wealth, but the human mind itself. Leo watched Marcus leave, inspired. He understood that machines were powerful allies, but the human mind was the ultimate force. Marcus had proven that intelligence, creativity, and courage could achieve the impossible. Marcus walked calmly through the bank's main hall. The red alarms had quieted, the security drones had returned to standby mode, and the customers had regained their composure. The transfer of $200 million was almost complete, but the final confirmation required human insight. Marcus knew that this stage would be the most critical test of human intelligence. Machines could monitor, calculate, and enforce rules, but only humans could interpret outcomes, judge risk, and make decisions with foresight. Leo followed closely. He had never seen such a display of control and precision. Marcus had handled every obstacle with patience and intelligence, yet there was still one challenge left: the central authority system. The bank's AI core was designed to oversee every major transaction, flagging unusual activity and requiring strict verification before approval. Even a small error could trigger a complete lockdown. Marcus smiled faintly. He had anticipated this. The AI core was powerful, but it could not match human judgment. "Leo," Marcus said quietly, "the final step is about respect. Respect for systems, for rules, and for the people who created them. We act within the law, but we lead with thought. Humans do not force, we guide, observe, and learn." The AI core detected the last stage of the transfer. Its voice, calm but firm, filled the room. Final verification required, transaction flagged, authorization needed by human oversight. The holographic display above Marcus's wristband shifted, showing layers of encryption, security checkpoints, and multi-dimensional coding. Machines alone could not navigate this final stage. Marcus's mind was the key. He studied the display carefully. Each line of code, each sequence of encryption was a puzzle designed to test knowledge and insight. Marcus traced patterns with his fingers, manipulating the AI chip to interface seamlessly with the bank's system. He guided the AI through complex calculations, anticipating potential errors and rerouting data streams before the system could respond. Machines followed logic. Humans led with reasoning. Leo watched, amazed. He had seen Marcus overcome drones, alarms, and secondary security layers. But the AI core was different. It was intelligent, adaptive, and highly sensitive to anomalies. Most humans would panic under this pressure. Marcus remained calm, analyzing each potential response and crafting strategies in real time. His intelligence was precise, yet flexible, a perfect blend of thought and action. The AI core paused. It detected unusual patterns, unsure if the commands were legitimate. Marcus leaned closer, his eyes scanning the shifting streams of data. "We must act decisively," he said softly. "Machines are precise, but humans are adaptable. That is our advantage." He entered a sequence of commands guiding the AI to validate every aspect of the transfer, while ensuring compliance with all security protocols. The holographic display glowed brighter. Numbers flowed like rivers through secure channels, guided by Marcus's judgment. Security drones hovered, observing the commands but unable to act against them. Each movement was calculated yet instinctive. Marcus had trained for moments like this. Humans could adapt instantly to changing circumstances. Machines followed logic, but could not innovate under pressure. Leo leaned closer. "Marcus, it's incredible. The AI core is responding to you as if you are its creator." Marcus smiled faintly. "Not as its creator, Leo. As a human guiding technology. Machines obey rules. Humans create strategies. We shape outcomes with thought, insight, and foresight." He tapped another sequence on the wristband, and the AI core recalculated the final security measures. Drones paused mid-air, lights flickered, and the alarms softened. The system recognized the commands as legitimate, yet it had learned something new. Humans had guided it through complexity it could not predict alone. Customers and staff began to notice the shift. Whispers filled the room. People were witnessing not just a transfer, but a demonstration of human capability. Marcus had moved money with machines assisting, but humans leading. They understood now that intelligence alone was not enough. The greatest achievements came when humans applied thought, creativity, and courage. Marcus guided the AI through the last layer of encryption. Each step required judgment. Which paths were safest? Which sequences minimized risk? Which checks ensured compliance? Machines could follow instructions, but only humans could decide which instructions were correct. Marcus's mind worked faster than the AI could calculate, yet slower than a machine's reaction time when needed. A perfect balance. Leo noticed how Marcus anticipated obstacles before they appeared. The AI core attempted a minor security override, a final test of authority. Marcus entered a sequence that rerouted the signals without triggering alerts. The holographic display confirmed each action in real time. Every decision was precise, yet human. Leo could see the lesson clearly. Humans had vision. Machines only executed orders. "Leo," Marcus said quietly, "do you see why humans are valuable? Intelligence without action is nothing. Machines cannot innovate. Humans do. That is why, even in a world of advanced technology, humans lead." Leo nodded. He felt a deep sense of understanding. He had followed rules all his life, trusted machines to make calculations, and assumed that human decisions were secondary. Now he realized that humans guided the galaxy with creativity, foresight, and courage. Machines were tools, not masters. The final confirmation appeared on the holographic display. Transaction completed, authorized by human intelligence. The $200 million transfer had succeeded. The AI core returned to its default monitoring state. Drones powered down, lights returned to normal, and the bank's atmosphere shifted. Respect filled the room. Humans had guided machines, and in doing so, they had demonstrated extraordinary ability. Marcus turned to Leo. "This is what humans do, Leo. We lead, we create, we solve problems that machines cannot. Remember this." Leo felt inspired. He understood now that humans were not limited by technology. Machines were powerful allies, but human thought, creativity, and judgment were stronger. He had witnessed firsthand the combination of intelligence and foresight that defined human greatness. Other staff members approached, still processing the event. They asked questions, and Marcus answered patiently, explaining the principles of human ingenuity. Humans could guide technology, anticipate obstacles, and adapt in ways machines never could. Each explanation reinforced the lesson: humans were capable of extraordinary achievement, even in a galaxy dominated by machines. The customers, now calmer, began to realize what had happened. They had seen more than a transfer. They had seen humans in action, demonstrating intelligence, courage, and adaptability. Some whispered admiration. Others looked at Marcus with newfound respect. Leo noticed the change in their eyes. They no longer saw a simple transaction. They saw human potential in motion. Marcus addressed everyone. "Humans have created tools, machines, and systems to help us, but our greatest strength is our mind. We imagine, we plan, we adapt. Technology supports us, but humans lead. That is how we achieve what others cannot." Leo felt a rush of pride. He had learned a lesson far beyond banking procedures. He had seen human ingenuity, foresight, and ethical judgment at work. Machines alone could not have completed the transfer. Humans had guided them, solved problems, and achieved a result beyond what artificial intelligence could manage. Marcus removed his wristband and smiled. "Remember, Leo, humans are capable of more than we often realize. We are intelligent, adaptable, and creative. When we lead, we achieve the impossible." Leo nodded. He felt inspired, motivated, and ready to embrace human potential. He understood now that humans were not limited by technology. Humans guided it. Humans shaped outcomes. Humans led. The staff returned to their duties, but the lesson remained. Humans had shown their worth, not through force, not through wealth, but through intelligence, creativity, and foresight. Machines had assisted, but humans had led. Leo returned to his terminal, inspired to apply what he had learned. Marcus stepped outside the bank, the sunlight reflecting off the orbital city's metal surfaces. He looked down at Earth in the distance, thinking about what humans had achieved. They had colonized space, built technology that rivaled imagination, and now they had demonstrated once more that human intelligence, courage, and creativity were unmatched. Humans had earned respect that day, not by demanding it, not by force, but by showing what they could accomplish. Machines had limits, humans had none. Leo watched Marcus leave, understanding the full lesson. He knew that humans could lead, innovate, and achieve the impossible. Technology was valuable, but human thought and vision were priceless. Marcus had not just transferred money, he had proven that humans were extraordinary. The city outside shimmered in the sunlight, full of promise. Humans had shown that intelligence, creativity, and courage could guide the future. The story of the $200 million transfer would spread, inspiring humans to innovate, lead, and embrace their potential. Marcus had completed the transfer, earned respect, and reminded everyone that humans were still the most remarkable force in the galaxy. Leo would carry this lesson forever, knowing that one day he too could guide technology, solve impossible problems, and demonstrate human ingenuity in action. Marcus stepped out of the bank into the bright sunlight of the orbital city. The air was crisp and clean, filled with the faint hum of ships docking and departing. Below him, the city stretched across the orbital platform, gleaming metal and glass reflecting the light of the distant sun. Humans had built wonders here, and Marcus knew this was only the beginning. Today, he had completed the $200 million transfer, but the real journey was about to begin. Leo followed Marcus out of the bank. His mind was still processing what he had witnessed. Marcus had not only moved a massive amount of money, but he had shown the power of human intelligence in action. Leo had watched humans guide machines, solve impossible problems, and lead with creativity and courage. It was inspiring. Leo realized that the $200 million was not just a number. It represented human vision, innovation, and the potential to make a real difference. Marcus, Leo said, his voice filled with respect, I understand now. Humans are powerful not just because of technology, but because of thought, creativity, and courage. Marcus nodded. Exactly, Leo. Technology is a tool. Humans are the leaders. We guide, we create, we solve. That is what makes us extraordinary. Today you saw one example. Tomorrow you will see many more. They walked toward Marcus's ship, a sleek craft designed for speed and long-range travel. The ship gleamed in the sunlight, reflecting the care and intelligence of its human creators. It was equipped with the latest technology, but Marcus knew its true power came from the humans who designed, maintained, and piloted it. Machines could assist, but humans led. Inside the ship, Marcus activated a display showing the allocation of the $200 million. The funds were not for personal gain. They were meant for projects that would benefit humans across colonies. Education, medical research, infrastructure, and exploration programs would receive support. Marcus had carefully planned the distribution, ensuring that each dollar would create the greatest impact. Leo studied the display. This is incredible, he said. You are using this transfer to improve the lives of humans across space. It's more than money. It's vision, strategy, and leadership. Marcus smiled. Exactly. Humans are capable of more than we often realize. We do not just react, we create. We guide, we lead. The $200 million is not the point. The point is what humans can achieve when we act with intelligence and purpose. The ship lifted off smoothly, rising above the orbital city. Below them, humans went about their daily tasks, building, learning, and exploring. Marcus watched them, knowing that each person had potential to contribute to the future. Machines could assist, but humans were the architects of progress. As they traveled through space, Marcus explained more to Leo. Humans have always faced challenges. We have crossed oceans, built cities, and reached the stars. Machines help us, but humans solve the problems. Machines follow rules. Humans create rules. That is why we are unstoppable, Leo nodded. He thought about the bank, the AI, the drones, and the challenges Marcus had overcome. He realized that humans had not only managed to transfer money, but had also demonstrated their ability to lead, adapt, and innovate. Marcus's actions were a lesson in human potential. The first project funded by the $200 million was a research station on a distant planet. The station would focus on developing sustainable energy, medical technology, and communication systems. Humans would work alongside machines using intelligence and creativity to solve problems that machines alone could not. Marcus smiled, knowing that this was just the beginning of many human-led achievements. Leo looked at Marcus. "Do you think humans can really achieve everything we imagine?" Marcus nodded. "Yes, Leo. Humans have always done more than we thought possible. Each generation builds on the last. Each person contributes in unique ways. The key is intelligence, creativity, and courage. Machines can assist, but humans lead. That is how we will shape the future." As the ship approached the planet, Marcus briefed the team on the deployment of the funds. Scientists, engineers, and explorers were ready to receive support. The 200 million would provide the tools, resources, and infrastructure necessary for human progress. Marcus emphasized that humans were responsible for making choices, guiding technology, and ensuring that every project reflected human values and ingenuity. The landing was smooth. The crew disembarked, eager to begin their work. Marcus walked with them, explaining the importance of human leadership. "Our machines will help you calculate, build, and organize. But you must decide. You must innovate. You must lead. That is what humans do best." Leo watched the team move efficiently, combining intelligence with effort. He realized that Marcus had not only moved funds but had also inspired a culture of human ingenuity. The $200 million was a catalyst, but humans were the force that would transform vision into reality. Marcus addressed the team. "Today we begin a new chapter. Humans will explore, create, and solve problems. Machines are tools. Humans are leaders. Together we can achieve the impossible. Remember, the greatest power lies not in technology, not in money, but in human thought, courage, and creativity." The team nodded, inspired. They understood that Marcus's actions were more than financial. They were a demonstration of human capability, a reminder that humans could overcome challenges that machines alone could not. Leo felt proud to be part of this moment, knowing that he had witnessed a demonstration of true human potential. As the team began their work, Marcus reflected on the journey. From the bank to the orbital city to the new planet, humans had shown intelligence, adaptability, and courage. They had led technology, guided projects, and created solutions. Marcus knew that this was only one example of human ingenuity, but it would inspire others across the galaxy. He looked at Leo. "Do you understand now, Leo? Humans are capable of more than we often imagine. We are leaders, creators, and problem solvers. Technology supports us, but humans shape the future." Leo nodded, feeling a deep sense of pride. He realized that humans had achieved the impossible not because of money or machines, but because of thought, creativity, and courage. Marcus had shown him the path. Now it was up to every human to follow it. Over the following weeks, the research station began to flourish. Projects advanced quickly, guided by human ingenuity. Machines assisted with calculations, construction, and analysis, but humans made the decisions, innovated solutions, and solved problems that machines could not anticipate. The $200 million had catalyzed progress, but human intelligence had made it meaningful. News of Marcus's actions spread across colonies. Humans everywhere were inspired by the demonstration of intelligence, courage, and creativity. They realized that even in a galaxy filled with machines, humans were still the greatest force. People began to innovate, lead, and embrace their potential. Marcus watched as projects succeeded, knowing that humans had proven themselves again. Leo reflected on what he had learned. Inspired to continue exploring, creating, and leading, humans had shown that intelligence, creativity, and courage could guide the future. Machines were valuable, but humans were essential. The orbital city glimmered in the sunlight, a testament to human achievement. The bank, once a place of tension and challenge, had become a symbol of human ingenuity. Marcus had completed the $200 million transfer, guided technology, and inspired humans to lead. The lessons of thought, courage, and creativity would spread across colonies, ensuring that humans remained the greatest force in the galaxy. Marcus turned to Leo one last time. "Remember this, Leo. Humans are powerful not because of machines or money, but because of thought, creativity, and courage. Lead with intelligence, innovate with vision, and act with purpose. That is how we will shape the future." Leo smiled, inspired. He understood fully now. Humans had demonstrated intelligence, adaptability, and courage. Machines assisted, but humans led. The 200 million was more than money. It was a symbol of human capability, of vision, and of the future. Marcus stepped outside into the sunlight of the orbital city once more, looking at the stars above. Humans had crossed the void, colonized space, and faced challenges that would have seemed impossible. Yet they had succeeded, not because of technology alone, but because of the mind, heart, and courage of people. The galaxy awaited human innovation, and Marcus knew that humans would continue to lead, create, and achieve. The $200 million transfer had been just one demonstration, but it symbolized much more: human potential, human ingenuity, and the unstoppable power of thought combined with action. Humans had proven their value. They had guided technology, solved complex problems, and shown courage in the face of challenges. Machines could assist, but humans would always lead. The story of Marcus and the 200 million would be remembered as a symbol of human brilliance, inspiring generations to come. Leo watched Marcus depart, understanding the full impact of the lesson. Humans were the greatest force in the galaxy. Intelligence, creativity, and courage would guide the future. Technology could enhance their abilities, but humans would shape the outcomes. The $200 million was secure, the projects were underway, and the legacy of human ingenuity would continue. Marcus smiled faintly as his ship lifted off, leaving the orbital city behind. Humans had achieved much, yet their potential was limitless. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and opportunities.